Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. It's another beautiful week. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week three. If you can hear me clear and loud, please drop a message in the live chats. Please drop a message in the live chats if you can hear me clear and loud. Then I can proceed. Thank you. Adebi, thank you. Good afternoon, Adebi. Okay. Salil, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. So I think we're just two people live on this call. Um, okay, so I think others should join. We can't keep waiting for people, right? So welcome to week three. Welcome to week three, and today or this week we are going to be learning or looking at understanding UI design and its principles. And what I mean by its principle is the basic principles of design. So that's what we're going to be learning for week three. I'm very sure that we've started to get the hang of UX. Now I can say that we, even not on 100%, we now have like 50 or 60% knowledge of what UX design is about, and then from there we can start to build off that, right? So now we are diving into the other aspects, which is UI design, understanding UI design, the basic principles of UI design, and we keep going and we keep going. All right. So today, same as last week, we have 3 point agenda. Um, the first one is to talk about this week's activity. The second one is to talk about the resources, and the last thing is going to be question and answer section, because I know you guys have questions for me as regard your learning point, or where you are, or what you know you need to improve on. All right. So for this week's activity, just like I've said earlier, is about understanding UI design and its principles. And what I mean by its principles is the basic principles of design. Um, so the basic principles of designs are what guides us, helps us when we are designing UI. So when we get to that phase where we start to use Figma to design, all these things will now come to play, right? We would have it at the back of our mind when designing. So, oh, okay, before I can push this button here, or before I can put this text here, oh, I need to apply this principle. Because if you don't apply this principle, your UI might not come out good. Not even might, will not come out good, right? So some of these principles are contrast, emphasis, reading, variety. There are a lot of them, right? We are going to be looking at that. There are resources for us to learn, in pictorial view, and you know, yeah. So we are going to get all of those resources. So this week, the goal is or the knowledge you are going to get from this week's resources is going to provide a strong foundation for understanding UI design and becoming a knowledgeable UI designer, right? Because if you get to understand all of this foundational, all of this foundation, right, you get to be knowledgeable. You get to even do things, in a well creative way, using all of these principles to guide you. And just like I've always said, I want you guys to be actively, you know, um, involved in all of this thing. Like we all know, this is an individual journey, but we have our team members in our various group to help guide us, to help when you have question or when you need someone to clarify something to you, like they say, two heads are better than one, right? You can always just reach out. But this is a individual journey. You have to learn on your own, right? And it's achievable. Like thousands of people have gone through that part, so it shouldn't be anything different, for you, right? So I want you guys to participate actively, dedicate a lot of time to learning. I know that we all have different things we are doing, where some of us have a full-time job, that we are doing pending the time that we transition into tech. Some of us have so many things going on, right? But if you really want to get something, you know that you can actually dedicate, go at length to get it. So that's just the kind of commitment that I want us to have, because at the end of the day, it's going to be for your own betterment and good. All right. So for today resources, for the book aspect, we are going to be looking at practical UI and UI design book. So for this book aspect, this particular book is going deep into designing itself, right? So I might not be sharing this book now, because it's not even going to teach us, the foundational thing that we need to know. This is going to come helpful when we are now starting to design. There are some things that you need to do in some certain way. Let's say, for example, you want to design a model. It's going to tell you the best possible way you should do it, as regard any idea that is in your head, right? So when the time is right, I'm going to send us that book. So the videos I want us to watch, these are the video. One of them is, the topic is UI design tutorial for beginners, right? So this is going to be a open our minds, teach us what we need to know about UI design for beginners. And then, like I said, don't just settle for what I share, right? On YouTube there are also other various video. On Google there are other various resources, article. Go out of the way, out of your way to want to learn more, right? And the other YouTube video is understanding the principles of design. So now you see that this week's topic is broken into two parts, right? Understanding UI design itself and also the principles. So in this video, you are going to get a better understanding, pictorial understanding of all these principles of design, and you get to see, when you start to watch this video, you start to see that, oh, on some website that you've been visiting, or mobile apps that you've been using, all these things are actually there, but because you don't know of these things, you don't pay attention, or you don't even know what they mean, right? So when you start to watch this video, you start to now see it and understand, and now feel some type of way that, oh, okay, I think I'm getting to be knowledgeable in this aspect. Then the other part of the resources, like I said, my resources, I'm splitting them into three groups, which is the book, the video, and also the article, because this is the perfect way I think we can learn, right? And I know that if you guys are gonna agree with me, all of the resources that I'm sharing all this while, regarding this method has been so helpful, right? So the article, we have three articles here. The first one is what is user interface design, is a comprehensive guide. So it's by Career Foundry. Career Foundry is one of the best platform or company out there, dishing out design resources, articles, and guides. So you're going to find this very, 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 very helpful. The next one is breaking down the principles of design with infographics. So this article breaks down all of the principles with infographics, where you don't even need anyone to even tell you or teach you or guide you, or explain further about all these things. By you reading it and seeing those infographics, you get it once. And this article is by TopTow. TopTow is one of the world leading platform for recruiting designers, engineers, people in tech. So you can trust this article 100%. And the last article I want us to read is the principle of design and their importance. So they went further to talk about the importance of this principle of design. This article is also by TopTow. So all these resources, right? If you go through them, spend more time with them, you are going to, they are more than enough for you to, you know, understand UI design and also, you know, its principles. So yeah, these are all the resources you need. So the next section is now, you know, the question and answer section. So guys, if you okay, thank you, Adibi. Adibi said the resources has been on point. Thank you so much, and I'm glad, you know, to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much. Thank you, and you know, as we keep going, I will make sure that the resources are always on point and are always of value. Okay, so now this is the question and answer section. If you have any question, you know, that needs answer, if you have anything, if you have any suggestion, you know, anything that you want to ask me, right? You know, this is the time for you to train those questions. So you know, you can drop them in the live chat. Then I'm going to answer them. Yes. So we are just three people in the call. I don't know why, you know, other people are not joining, but you know, we can't keep waiting for people and waiting for people, right? So when the time is 12, you know, people should try to clear their schedule to join, right? You know, um, so that's why I decided to go through the section to this meeting without, you know, without waiting for other people, because if I should say I want to wait, this is 12:15 and I'll still keep waiting and people, you know, will still not come. So they can always come back to reference back to this video, right? So yeah. So do we have questions? Adebi, Saliu, and the last person. Is there any question? Is there any suggestion? Is there anything that you want, you know, us to improve on as regard, you know, this um, cohort, like this learning pipeline? So I guess you guys are still like typing a question. So okay, I'm going to wait. Okay, Adibe said, okay, Saliu said, I have a problem understanding. I have a problem understands. So Saliu, I think your question, you know, is not complete, right? So please, you know, make it clear and try to complete it. Okay, Adibi said, all good from me. All right, thank you, Adibi. Thank you so much. Okay, Salius. Okay, your question says, I have a problem understanding information architecture. Okay, so if I may ask, can you like go deep into that question? You know, what part of information architecture do you not understand, right? Because I want like the resources, right? Um, I think, you know, they are very very clear, right, for us to understand. You know, I also provided, you know, YouTube videos, because one thing about this research that I share is that I also, you know, go through it, right, to see if for a beginner, for a total beginner, is it going to be, you know, easily understood, right? So just let me know, provide more context to that question, then I can, you know, try to understand and explain, you know, to you on this call, right? Sally, I'll be expecting that. All right, Adebi said, thank you for setting this up. More powers to you. God bless. Thank you, Adebi, once again. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you are always turning up, you know, to this online meeting, and you know, you are showing commitment, right? By the end of this cohort, obviously, you know, you would um, appreciate yourself more for going on with this journey. Thank you so much. All right, Sally, I'm waiting. Please just add more context to that question so that I can understand the particular part where you don't understand about information architecture. Thank you. Okay, Sally, I'm still waiting. Or pending the time that your question comes in, let me just explain. Let me just explain like further on, or let me just explain what information architecture is, right? So information architecture, just like the name implies, right? Okay. Let me bring this down to building, architecture itself. We all know that architecture, if you have your land and you want to build a house of your choice, the first thing is you need to contact an architect, and they're going to draw out a map, how your house is going to look like, where the toilet is going to be, the bedroom, the sitting room, and all of those things. So that is the same thing, or the same way you should picture information architecture. So it's just like, okay, a website. When you land on a website, for example, you are going to see the header, let's say about us, complain, you know, contacts. So now, when you now click on about us, you are going to see other things on that page. So the information architecture is just how you are going to structure your website. That is, when you visit www.salahu.com, for example, the first thing you land on is the landing page, the home page. Now, you will draw an arrow to say that, okay, when you land on a home page, what are the other pages you can access from that home page? Then the first one is about us, the second one is contact us, while the third one is help, for example. So now you are going to draw another arrow underneath about us. What are the things you want user to do under there? Oh, about the company, FAQ and all those things. So you draw another line on the others. So it's just like how the users are going to navigate your website, how they are going to navigate your products, right, end to end. Do you understand? I hope this little explanation gives more insight on it. But if you feel it's still not 100% clear, like I said, go on YouTube, just search understanding information architecture. You are going to see various video that will give you better understanding, better context to what information architecture is about. Right. So okay, I can see your question now. Okay, what I don't get is why it is okay, what it is used for. I don't know how to give more context because I'm confused more. Okay, just like what I've explained, what information architecture is used for is you want to design a website, right? In designing a website, you know that, oh, you can't just have one page, right? You have multiple pages. That is home page, about us, contact us, help, blah blah blah, right? Now, other things you want to also put in consideration is what are the things that is going to be on that page? What are the things that what are the structure? How do you want user to access those page? What is the first page user will first access before they now access other pages? Like I explained, the first page when they visit your website is home page, right? That's the first. So you are going to draw an arrow to say, okay, which other pages do you want them to access? Now, about us, contact us and help is the next. So now under contact us and about us, what are the next thing you want them to do under those pages? Then it keeps going, it keeps going. So with that, it's going to give you an overview, a better understanding on how to design your website, on what you need to put on those things, the content, the information, everything, right? So when you have your information architecture properly done, it's going to guide you on how to now design that website to achieve what you want it to achieve. I hope that is clear, right? Just like I said earlier, if you feel this explanation is not that clear, just go on YouTube, right? Just type in understanding information architecture, and you are going to get a better understanding and a better context of it, right? So is that all of the question that we have for this week? Do we have any other question? If you have more question, just drop into the chat. But in the case of no question, we would have to round up this week's meeting and call it a day. So okay. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Salahu. So I think you now have a better understanding, or you now have more context to what information architecture is. Like I said, you can also go on YouTube, just type in the search box, understanding information architecture, and you get to understand it better, even more than I've explained it, right? So, that's it. Thank you so much, Lukman Saliu. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we don't have any other question. So guys, I'm going to send, just after this call, I'm going to send the resources that we need for this week, in the channel. Please just go to the resources corner in the channel, and I'm going to send it just after this call. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Until next time, do have a productive week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have fun and stay fab.